So another thing I wanted to talk about, and it's basically racism. But what I notice, especially in this little matrix, right? Um, it's so easy. I think for us to blame racism for a lot of different things. I've seen a lot of TikTokers that they seem like they're talking about spiritual, like they're on the right page with me, and then sometimes like they'll like dip back into like, and I know the idea of like certain things, like obviously melanin is very important when it comes to like energy and picking up frequencies and vibration and all that, and I understand all of the stories related to the Cabbage Patch Kids. I understand this, right? But at the same time, based on my experience in this simulation, I can tell you that I do not trust anybody anymore. I don't care, like, I have a Korean background. I consider myself Latina as well, but like, I will not trust you just because you come speaking to me in Spanish and you're a Latina. I will not trust you just because you say that you are from my mother or my father's country. I will not trust. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I have seen every single race be infiltrated by these little archons and start doing shenanigans because, again, whatever little entity force is roaming around in this reality, their goal is to keep all of the chosen ones asleep. So they are all liabilities down to people in your family. Okay, so obviously, that comes in all shades and colors to fulfilling the goal of making you not wake up, okay, and causing enough drama in your life and problems in your life and leading you into circumstances so that you are in lower vibrations or basically in drama and trouble so that they can suck you dry, take your energy. So I do not really play anymore in that sense. That has been like the most humbling experience, actually. And I know like there are different constructs, like culturally, like different people, different, they act certain ways based on that's everything, right? Like depending where you grow up, like that is the concept of the matrix, right? You have all these different varieties and realities, let's say, right? But one thing I will tell you is that the matrix does push, and this is very obvious, no racism, in the sense that they would prefer that people focus on that than you focus that this is a war between good and evil. Why do I say this? Think about all the crap that has happened to me. I'm going to use the CPAM here in the Ville where I live, right? Now, because this is the real world, and you see how much like paperwork I have showing all the shenanigans that they do, right? Obviously, like in the real world, I mean, obviously, I can just say, yeah, it's discrimination. It's discrimination. They're doing this because I can say anything. At this point, I could be like, yes, it's because I'm colored, or because I don't have this nationality, or because I'm from this economic stand. I can say whatever because I've caught them red-handed. So, obviously the Matrix, like, was definitely discriminating, but it was the Matrix. It wasn't necessarily that I think that it was based on race, right? But because of it's the real world, we have to have a real world excuse, right? If you didn't know me and you only saw the videos from the CPAM showing all of the things that they tried to do so that I don't get the benefits and all of this, and you would just say like, yeah, that's discrimination, and I can say that because that's the real world. That's what I'm going to say, because if I can sue, that's what I'm going to say. But anyways, but because you know me and you've seen all of the other videos, down to my trouble with the UPS, down to how they lost my mail in the La Poste, down to all of the other craziness that have happened with my accounts and all that, you obviously know that it goes a bit deeper than that, right? It goes a little bit deeper than that. So based on where we are right now in this reality, right? We're in that like split, but like, we're still playing real world to some degree, right? So we're not going to go off on tangents and start screaming in the street like, it's the Matrix. No, we're just going to like, okay, yes, it is a discrimination. They're discriminating, whatever it is. It's a discriminatory situation because look, this keeps happening and that's not normal. That's not normal. Something's glitching out. So however they have it set up here, you know what I'm trying to say? Obviously, it's meant to discriminate either against certain brackets, certain races, or just me, just little old me. And I think it's probably just little old me. Okay, so The point is, um, that is a good example for you to understand how in the Matrix they push certain narratives, they will push certain ideas. They prefer you to think that it's based sometimes on a discrimination of racism or all this, so that you can run in that direction, so you can build up anger, so you can, look at it from that perspective, that lower perspective. Then you actually realize, like, oh my god, we're in a simulation, and these little archons are just trying to block me at every turn, because my soul is just here to be, maybe do big things, and they just don't like that. You know what I'm trying to say? And basically, like I said, um I feel like, again, these entities, whatever they are, they infiltrate every race. They do things on purpose so that when you, the observer, see it, you continue that narrative or that way of thinking, right? Like, if you already have in your head, like, uh this group of people is, they're always doing this and that, I'm so annoyed with it. Well, they'll make sure, and that's also kind of like law of attraction, that you receive all the little archons that are infiltrated in that race to do this and that, so that you can see it, and it reinforces your belief of what you think of these individuals, and for you to also feel some type of way about it, so that they can drain you, and you know what I mean, and you can react also based on how you feel. So that's why you have to be real careful in that sense. I even think with some of the TikTokers that you listen to, because I just keep telling you, like, my experience has not been like that, and I live in Europe. And I know some people will say, like, yeah, they're all parasitic. Not even down to that concept of like every single sim in this reality is out to get me, because I've seen people try to help me. So I don't look at everybody who can, like, in their mind as somebody who's bad. They will try to send a lot of the bad ones around me, so that I can, like I told you, maybe not want to work around people, or not want to even work with kids anymore. They'll do like weird stuff, making the kids do, like, what I'm trying to say. So that is happening, that is real. But at the same time, that's where that work, that spiritual work comes in, where you have to kind of not let them reprogram your mind or rewire your mind in a different direction. You need to always keep yourself grounded, and not let um the things that they're trying to make you observe dictate, I guess, your line of thinking, if that makes any sense. So yeah. So just wanted to say that, because I keep seeing, or I've seen a couple of these videos, like people that I'm like, okay, they're like talking on the right page, but then like they'll go into this kind of thing where they start like, I feel like being insulting towards, like, normally it's Caucasian people. They'll start being insulting and saying this and that, and I like, again, everybody picks, I guess, the avatar that we come down here in, and you cannot help be from where you are and the culture that you have. All right. I don't know. At this point, is like, I guess maybe I'm more accepting of it, because like I've just seen people rewinding things, and like I imagine you have some clones out there, some Cabbage Patch babies out there. I don't know, but it is what it is, right? Everybody the same way I am, the way I don't know. So I just really try to, now it's been the most humbling experience, because like now, like, unless it's like dating or something, and you're like, ah, somebody's cute. No, but like race means nothing to me. Like race right now, like when I see somebody, like, I don't care. I need to see your soul. I need to see what you're gonna do. You could be the same shade as me and be doing some crazy crap. And I know this is just like cliche, that's obvious. And you could even be somebody who is supposedly like a real soul and be on the wrong track because you've been corrupted, right? Doesn't mean that everybody, even with the ones that can rewind, can do, you know what I'm saying? That they're all perfect, or, I'm sorry, that the chosen ones are all perfect. The ones, or we shouldn't even refer to ourselves as chosen one, but I'm just saying, like, the souls or the star seeds or whatever that are here in this earth trying to do, raise the vibration, doesn't mean that we're all perfect either. So, I don't know. You're either in team A or team B. Either you're for evil or you're for good. That's it. So that's all I'm going to say. And then of course that crosses over into religions and all of that. Like, none of that it means nothing. It means nothing. And that's what I think, like, especially this experience has shown me, that you have little avatars running around here in different shades. Some just have little demons running in behind them, in and in every shade. So That's it. So please don't fall for those tricks in this reality.